Welcome to Axios. My name is Rick Rainey Jr. On this channel, I kind of put together multiple interests, share it with the world, and go with the flow. With that said, I'm going to be starting a 5-part series. It's called The First 5, Get Habitual. And this week, I'm uploading the introduction to that first 5. So with that said, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste none of your time. By now, it should be no secret that your mind, skills, and talents are only a couple or few of the handful of things, I guess you would say investments, that a person or individual can make in themselves, right? Now, with that said, my mission with this 5-part project or toolkit is simple. Number 1 is to provide the next person with inspiration, thoughts and ideas, strategies, useful information, you name it. All so that you have more than what I did when I first started. And number 2, I also would like to save you a lot of time where possible. So we'll for sure put some emphasis on your view and your use of time in general. Number 3, we're going to introduce you to taking back more control over your time, habits, mind, and body. And then number 4, your expectations from this first 5 project, I guess you would say, is to expect to sharpen your understanding of perspective, your skill or skills in writing, mindset on project-based learning, plus the creation and maintenance of structure. Section 1 is the deep dive. It's not a red or a blue pill, it's just a swim. What's the point of having a growth mindset? To the weak-minded, this may sound like a really pessimistic outlook, so be warned. So the way that my mindset is, on occasion, or very often, is that if I rely on someone to tell me that I have a talent or skill or skill sets or a gift, etc., then pretty much those same people could, for as long as they want, withhold that information, as long as they choose to, right? So that leaves me, or you, to possibly never figure out that what I'm probably capable of, what you're good at, great at, and or exceptional at, either by learning or the natural abilities to do so. Hence the reason why I've never really been scared to try new things or jump around a lot to different stuff. So yeah, you could say I've tried a lot of stuff, but only for the core reason to figure out if I'll get bored of it fast, slow, never, and so on. So when you do figure out what existing skill sets or talents, etc., that you already have, with a growth mindset, it's like setting your mind to grow in certain or specific areas of your life. So you can think of the many areas like multiple figures of income. Think about it like this. If your thoughts are poor, do you have to be poor with your thoughts? If your body alone is tired, but your mind is ready to move and do something, should you? When you start to lose hope that life can actually change or turn around for the better, for the good, or for the greater good, where do you go if you can't, don't, won't, or aren't open to trusting anyone? Or what if you don't understand your pride and when there's a time to use it for the better versus is it better than someone who doesn't critically think about having pride for the better and just acts on impulse? Or what about when I don't want to be part of a culture, where do I go? What do I do? How should I conduct myself? If I feel like an outcast or feel like anything opposite of positive, then can I improve my odds of feeling better by practicing art or journaling or living more positive on purpose, etc.? During those thoughts that I think I may be feeling like shit. Or is it that a matter of leaving the odds of things getting better up to chance? Who knows? Point I'm making is, if you try something new, as simple as cooking, or maybe at least try to learn how to cook better. Totally not saying that you suck at cooking. The point is that you may find at least one skill, a talent, or a gift, etc., that you're either good, great, or exceptional at within that something new, which can also possibly be the one skill, talent, or gift you could still keep continuously improving even when you try the next something new. Let's say that you tried cooking and figured out how to make your own recipe. Then by the next time, you could write that recipe down in your journal, right? And if you think about it creatively, You can ask yourself, well, where else can I make a recipe in? That recipe could be the next time I try something new, I could set a standard or a bar for myself with a structured schedule or plan and keep attempting to build that routine until I master it and then move on to the next thing if I want to. Next, you could tell yourself, well, I'm going to research this something new thoroughly so I don't waste my time. Number 2, I'm going to take some thorough notes on this new something. And then number 3, I'm going to build a private weekly schedule so I can track my 10K hours. Number 4, I'm going to set some daily alarms so I don't forget what I'm actually focused on. And then number 5, start trying something new because I learned from my first attempt at trying something new that this, and this worked, whereas this, and this didn't work. And I don't want to waste my time. Let's say, for instance, you want to improve your long distance running and overall performance. Sure, you can drive to the local mall, pick up some fresh Nikes at Foot Locker, grab yourself some running shorts or running tights from Big 5, whatever floats your boat, and head out to the track. Let's say that you slow jog around the track 10 times, nonstop, piece of cake, that same day that you got the new gear. Cool, 1 day of progress, check. Next, let's ask ourselves a few questions. What are the odds of a person going back to the track after feeling how sore they are the next day, right? If they've never ran so much in their life, or if they've been a runner in the past, but it's been quite some time since they have. And number 2, what's the plan and how will that person believe in themselves to grow their macro and micro level skills, talents, etc.? Because if everyone was the same and we all believed in ourselves, anxiety, depression, suicide would be a non-existent thing, in my opinion. So the truth is, it's hard to tell who will or who won't show up again. Plus, some people just may not want to run in a circle 10 billion times at the track. No big deal. Or there's those folks that didn't go back or may not go back to the track that you went to the next day because they probably went on a trail elsewhere, or they probably chose to do a certain or different activity, right? Or they just flat out are no-shows. Most importantly, with the lack of a plan in mind on paper or in your private journal, within your notes, on a notepad or your phone, etc., how would a person improve their long distance running? Doesn't it kind of make the odds slim? So then what? The reality is that running can be a bother to a lot of folks, and let alone long distance running, which simultaneously can be like a wild beast. And honestly, so can life. Something else we could say is, when I keep the focus of growth or my mind set on my habits, talents, skill sets, etc., I in return build a mindset. Here's a nifty trick that has helped me continuously improve my odds when it comes to the mental disability that I have. What I've learned is, if I'm always focused on the monster, I don't try, I don't plan, I don't think, and I don't do much. Therefore, I don't stick to things, or habits that normally pull me out of the pits don't stick to me, I guess you would say. So if life can be like a monster and my eyes, mind, etc. are always focused on the monster, then where does that leave my self-mastery? Kind of in the dirt or the dark, huh? Here's some things that I would do to get better at long distance running, aka the game of life. All right. First off, I would start small, like Legos. You can think of that like baby steps. I would also practice breathing exercises while running, while at home, or both. This could entail in my regular life as opposed to writing, like getting into prayer or meditating. Next, I would track my time, no matter how long or short, I would track it all. This connects to productivity. Next, I would aim high 1 week, review the results. If I made progress, aim a little higher the following week, rinse, then repeat. Consider that working on your work ethics. I'd take recovery, eating, hydration, etc. seriously and to the best of my penny. Consider that the fuel and investments, etc. I'd build a basic plan, like a daily schedule, a game plan. Monday, light jog, 1.5 miles with an elevation mask. Tuesday, recover by going on a walk and by doing stretches when I get back home or before I go on a walk. I do what I have to stick to the plan, which would be exercising my consistency. There's countless times I got off track because I'm just sometimes too nice. The problem is I like to help people, and when it comes to family, I have a really hard time saying no when I can't do something. So a good strategy for you is to learn to say when to say or how to say no when you know you have a plan of attack to get to, right? This is exercising your self-discipline. If there's a party coming up, overtrain that week so you can attend the party, right? Or in other words, overcompensate in training so that you can go with complete confidence to have a good time and not be thinking, oh man, I didn't hit my calories yesterday or Wednesday, and you're not even present in the moment. I do believe in having a great time. I mean, I used to be that guy that was like, nah, if it's a friend's party, if it's a family member's party, if it's a family member's party, I'm not going. I don't care. I love them. They know that I love them, but I am trying to fix myself. I'm trying to work on my reality, right? And change my life. This is something that is important to me. I would go to the extent of not showing up no matter what it was. And in the end, I was the one that would pay for it, because just like how I didn't want to be working 40 hours, 50 hours, 80 hours a week and then miss all my children's first this, first that, I still ended up missing some of my cousins or some of my friends or their children's or my family's first this and first that. So the small sacrifice was, not intended to be thought of that way, and I had good intentions. So telling you from experience, learning to say no when it's a proper time to is going to help you a lot. So don't be afraid to overtrain if you got something coming up, or if you just flat out don't want to show up to something. It's okay. There's, accountability comes down the road eventually. So next, if I failed today and if tomorrow comes, right, then I got tomorrow to try again, which is pretty much to me like being relentless. The same thing when observing my weekly, monthly, annual plans. Like, everything won't always go according to plan, obviously, because there are bigger, greater things at work. But what if it did, because you set yourself up for progress and success instead of nothing? You know what I mean? Those are the odds that I think about. Those are the odds that I put my intentions behind. So failure happens, big whoop. At least you're trying 200%, right? You got to keep that in mind too, that failure does happen. And in the gym, it's a great thing. Going to failure is probably one of the many best ways to train, obviously, if you've tried it before. If you haven't, it's simply to keep going as far as your repetitions until you can't anymore, right? And then you rest. Then you put down the weights, as opposed to counting the reps and going round for round like a boxer would. Anyways, so I'd also attempt each day, week, month, year, etc. if I failed over and over, until I master it, until I master the basic plan. Then, only then, would I consider starting to iterate on that plan, right? Starting to change things or add things or take away things. But once I have that basic plan, just like when your parents, God, please tell me that you had your parents. If you didn't, I apologize. But if your parents taught you that there's some structure you have to have, you wake up, you fix your bed, get dressed for school, grab your things, have them ready in your backpack, make sure your homework's put in there, make sure you're ready to go, you got your pencils, pens, erasers, etc. Everything's ready, right? And then you got to go to the bathroom, wash your face, brush your teeth, clean yourself, take a shower if you got to, get ready, set yourself up for success. But once you master that plan, then, only then, would I iterate on the master plan, right? So this is what I call to consider consider this like living life on purpose. I know it sounds maybe funny to some people, but it's not like, oh, every repetition is full of purpose and I am the one. But it is simply having a little bit of a plan behind what you do, right? There's a little bit of structure within the chaos of random things always happening. And if it doesn't for you, great. You must be living a pretty righteous life. But in general, these are a few things that I would do and that I've learned from time and time again, studying, what makes a day perfect? What makes the perfect plan in a day. So yeah, let's move on to the next section. So this section is done as far as the reading, as far as the explaining, as far as the deep diving into the way I think about a growth mindset and the micro and macros of how you consciously think about consistency, or working on your consistency, or working on your structure, right? Or the structure in having structure in your life. I know that it gets boring at times when it's just constantly repetitive, but just like anything, starting something new, it can tend to be that way. And once you push through that process, there's some great things that happen down the road. It's delayed gratification, I guess you would say. So in the next part of this video, I would like for you to head back over to week 1 and pretty much fill out each of the questions to the best of your knowledge and to your greatest advantage, not mine. Each of these questions, I think, will help you narrow down and get kind of closer as to what you're expecting and what you could be expecting by the 4th week of this series. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I wasn't too like stiff or too movie. Anyways, my name is Rick Rainey Jr. If you like this video, click the like button. It'll help recommend this information to somebody else that could really use it. Otherwise, if you really enjoyed it, click the subscribe button and you'll get more of this kind of content going onward. Peace out.